It's time. The time now. It's happening.
Hey guys, I'm back and better than ever. You know it. You are on the Fox. I guess you're in the Fox hole. So I think you might be able to guess what the subject is today. But first I just got to get this off. I get this off my chest, my proverbial chest. Okay, so like as I've been traveling, you know, I don't end up in the most wholesome of scenarios necessarily, or say they're rough. It looks rough, not just around the edges either. It's just rough, and I've come to accept that, and that's to me, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with whatever I have at the time. I'm grateful for whatever I got. you know. It's just what I've come to work with when working in this energy or just this place of Canada. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. But so what what I found is these kind of incendiary characters. Incendiary being grenade-like characters that at first meeting, they're like really, they seem uppity, they're high energy, they seem fun, and I have fun with them. But then they come back to me with this this whole other kind of thing, which I've only come to name it, give it, its new man lore has dropped, and yeah, it's primarily male. Thing that I've experienced more than once, what I've come to know as gas splaining, and this is where I've combined the terms gaslighting and mansplaining, and people over the years they've said, hey. They've accused me of gaslighting, and to those people I say, you are insane and that never happened, and forget about it. But this thing, it happens more than once. It's like, I'm minding my own business. I'm actually enjoying my life despite whatever kind of scenario I'm in. The main part is like, usually I'm out in nature. I'm not really going along with the expectation or on face value, in terms of like what looks like success or like what someone's life should look like. It doesn't get there. It's not there. It's generally not there, but that's not how I view it. And that's necessarily, and that's the thing, like they come in here and they're like it's always on the pretense that they're in the superior spot, and they're telling me how, like, they're helping me, right? And they're telling me all this stuff and giving me this whole tough love, the tough love, and telling me how life sucks and you gotta get it together. You gotta get it together, Misha. What are you doing out here? What's this? What's that? What's over here? Why didn't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you, you gotta man up. You gotta take your bull by the horn. Take your bull by the horn and ride that bull, and, it's not gonna be a joyride. And this is consistent. This is consistent over the provinces. It's like, just like, life sucks, and you gotta do things just like everyone else, or else it's not gonna work. It's just, and you're in a hole. We gotta get you out. But this is not what's going on. This is not what's happening. Maybe this, I feel personally this whole tough love thing. I mean, there's definitely a place for that. Like if you do it more clever-esque and not on a second meeting of someone, where, yeah, sometimes things can be tough and you gotta, and can't hand everything out all at once, But that's, I've been through everything and more. I do not need a lecture. And usually, it's the thing is that they never actually ask how I feel about the whole thing, or like they don't acknowledge anything positive. It's always life is bad. They're coming from this idea that life sucks, like their own life sucks. And usually at the time that they're giving me the blah, 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 it's like I'm helping them. Literally, I'm helping them at the time. Like I go buy something for them, but they're on this route. They're like this whole, I don't know, it's just the high horse, I guess. And I mean, of course, I'm on a high horse myself. I'm not gonna lie, like my horse is high as F, of course. I mean, it should be, but I can take brutal honesty. I can take criticism, but it's all anybody in this country wants to hand out is criticism over whatever they deem as lower than them, which is just everyone. I don't know. They're just locked into this lifestyle and this normalcy that just doesn't make sense or add up to anything good. Like, and they're all the secret is, to me, the thing is that what I'm trying to say is that life is actually awesome. That's the thing. I know this. I've seen outside of this matrix. I know that life is great. And maybe sometimes that's hidden from the physical eye, but that's the secret. Life is actually beautiful. You just have to, you gotta tune your little fork, or I don't know. I guess we're not. If you're searching for oil, yeah. If you're searching for oil, the oil spout. The oil reserves, the hidden gold, the fork. The fork thing, the radio. You gotta tune your fork to the little things that are actually awesome in your life, and gratitude, I guess, is the key power word there. Like, and it's just, yeah. The gas splainers, they're flying off the handle everywhere. What's more to say? Anyway, so getting to what I was going to talk about, and that I've talked about this my entire life, even before I became spiritual Mitchell. I was not spiritual Mitchell. Spiritual Misha or whatever, I'm Mish now. I'm spiritual now. And either way, over the span of being spiritual, this topic has stayed consistent. I still could discern this early on in my somewhat normie time of being a non-social creature, new at experiencing life things, that this thing that time is an illusion. It is an illusion. It's man-made. You can't dispute this. And I know. Like, okay, so you can dispute it in the way that there's two different clocks going on, two main different clocks going on for sure. But the fact remains, time is an illusion. It's created by, the idea is created by you and also the whole society enforcing it. That's all. That's all. Um, and so where do we go with that? I mean, the reason why we can't accept this generally is because it will crumble the society, because it is the matrix. Time is the matrix. You see, you heard. It's the matrix is just about numbers and measuring. Yes, time is a membership. Time is a time is memory. Time is a measurement which can be useful. But either way, if you agree on a time to meet, you're still just either there or you're not there. You're meeting or you're not meeting. One thing happens, then another thing happens. It's just happening. It's not at any specific number. But at the same time, I would say there's two clocks going on, right? There's this, what I would refer to it as like a natural clock, which is, like based around you, based around your clock, how you feel. And that why I bring this up now is because when I said number, it's like when you're in harmony with the natural clock, like the Gaian clock, the Mother Nature's clock, which is your wants, your desires, your feeling. Excuse me, your intuition when you're in receptive mode and following your things, you get you get the 333, you get the 444, you get the repeating numbers, you get the synchronicities, because there's a whole different clock going on that's more in tune with feeling good, being on time in a way that makes more sense. Like, how do I explain this? Like, the opposite idea is like, so I've experienced this, obviously, and I'm sure everyone has, where, you wake up on a Tuesday, a Monday. Oh, the Monday's lasanga, and then it's like, oh, I don't want to go to work. I don't feel like going to work, obviously, and then you just do because, well, it's your job, and of course. And again, I'm not talking down anybody. There's definitely, there's nothing wrong with having a job and working consistently. But you have a schedule, and you don't feel like going, and then you do, and then it's not great, and not necessarily for your best interest, but it is in a sense. But that's the thing. It could go horribly wrong. Things can go horribly wrong when you ignore that clock. Or, the other clock that's going on, the matrix clock, is what's draining people of what, because you're not, when you go, it's the main enforcer, I'm telling you. So, the clock, it puts this constraint where people just decide to act differently at different numbers. Like what? It's 9:30. Now I get to be a dick to you. Basically, some security guards. Oh, you can't be here past dawn, and now I'm empowered to be a dickwad. That's just or it's just like, oh, now I can be nice in the. I'm not going to be nice in the morning because it's mornings, and it's like, but that's like it's just like these little constraints, that windows that don't really benefit everyone or anyone really. That because really like, I mean, constraints do benefit creativity to some extent because you have to, form yourself. You're like Bruce Lee, you form to the container. But I mean, that's easier said than done, especially when you're not actually, generally, when you're going to a job, you're not working for yourself. You're not necessarily doing anything monumental. Like, not everyone, but I mean, not on the face value at least. I think service to others is definitely super important, and that is awesome. Ka-ching. But it's not always what's going on, and especially not in the underlying kind of theme. If you look into, like, the people on the upper skirts, like your bosses, your managers, the CEOs, the supervisors, there's definitely a large inequality and nepotism, especially, going on in that respect, and it all is based around keeping this illusion of time going. The thing that comes to mind is like time theft, and I mean, it's not a thing. Sorry, like, yes, you can be not doing your job. That's one thing, but taking care of yourself, or like taking an extra couple minutes to do something, it's not a thing. What I'm trying to what it is to me is that we're locked in these clocks, and that's the main Matrix weapon, I'd say. Like, because it just keeps going, like, and we are creating it. That's the thing, because it's so plainly, obvious, per se, quotation marks. It's obvious that it's just time. There's the calendar. You look at it. Oh, there's it's Labor Day. Labor Day, whatever that means. So that's where that. So I guess that here's why this, we don't have to do this. I'm gonna go out on several limbs. We don't have to follow this, for one, because it's not real. In your linear experience, only if you're focusing, whatever you're focusing on and believing in, that's what you're creating. And that's why, to some extent, yeah, as much as these things, anything that I talk about is an illusion, and especially time, like, it doesn't exist unless you're focusing on it and making it a thing. Things are fluid. That's time and energy. That's what it's all fluid. It's not like you can put a number on it, but is that the right number? I mean, it's a lot of perspectives, So what I've experienced and what I see going on, well, there's a couple things. So the more you speak truth, and the more you recognize now, like the now moment, now, and it doesn't get old for me to. It gets weird saying time, but saying now just feels good to me, and it resonates in right now. Because, like, the more you're in presence and speak truth, what I mean, and I'm not here to just say what the truth is per se, but I feel I've felt and I've experienced where these universal truth comes through. Whatever I'm channeling, whatever I'm talking about, things start to change much faster, and my experience changes faster in life in positive ways when you start speaking your truth, the truth, etc. And it goes to the idea where, like, say, you experience something bad in high school, let's say, which I mean, most I'm sure have, and you meet that person again. They say, "Hey there, chum. Sorry about what I did there when I made fun of your shirt in high school 27.5 years ago." And something changes in you, right? That it changes your whole experience in life, right? And that could happen at any time, where it's like any moment in your life where it just changes everything. It doesn't have to adhere to a calendar, so yeah, like, that's what I'd say about that. So where I'm going with this is that, also, I guess what I could touch on is, like, the non-artificial part, the one that's more, I would call, adaptive. Adaptive in the sense that it's working in your best interest, is actually the astrological calendar. And what I'll preface this with is that there is absolutely no reason why we can't just add in an 8th day on the week. The society wouldn't crumble if we had an eighth day. Call it Blathers Day, and then 9th day is like woo day. Like, we can do that. There would be no drawback. I mean, probably have to retool. All businesses would have to retool their everything or whatever, but not even. No, we wouldn't. It's just like it, because nobody knows what day it is without somebody telling them. Like, and it's just what it boils down to is just these stories that are passed on. Everything. It's just these stories that are passed on from each other to each other around. That's all it is. It's just people spreading rumors about how life works. Yeah. There's no reason why we couldn't just have an extra day. I'd love to have someone say why not, or why you wouldn't want that, like, oh no, we'd have to slow down a bit, like we're not already riding a Mad Max kind of train wreck of a thing, like, come on. There's no drawback. So how I would what I teach, or what I would be teaching or have taught, in other words, I guess, per se, is that the astrology, through that clock, that's what's actually going on. That's what we're actually, like, since time is energy, or like this is science even backs up, like, or like it's just known. It is known. The feminine is on the moon cycle. So yeah, that's the real cycle, because one goes with the other, man with woman. So says he in thine Bible, the Bible. And that's how it goes. It's a cycle. Is we go in cycles. We go in the zodiac for whatever reason. I mean, it can get all, you're an asparagus. I'm a Supra Toyota Supra. And he's a bologna sandwich. But no, but this is the thing. Like the zodiac somehow through the 12 signs, there is a cycle that goes on, and the bare bones of it is the moon. The moon cycle is what the up and down, the ebb and flow of the feminine cycle, the divine feminine cycle, I guess, is more so what it is. And following that calendar makes more sense, but it's a bit more, how do you say, it's a bit more nuanced and not what is presented by school or by anyone that wants to keep their image intact as true or factual or anything important in life, right? So, but yeah, the moon, the feminine, or the what I would refer to as the ajna, or in Hinduism, in the third eye, that is what the moon is. The moon, as a physical object, well, even science doesn't even know. They don't even know what the moon is. They don't know why it's here. Why does it ring like a bell? Yeah. Good question, science. And the one that you're not asking or even investigating. Just saying, we made it. We made it to the moon again. We made it over there with our, probably not, it's not, can you even land on it? I don't know. Can you? It looks, is questionable presentation